wanted to show you a few build quality issues in BMW 3 Series 325i, made in 2005 in Germany, brought over to the States. So it was made. This car has already had the center console replaced because the plastic kept peeling off, door handles replaced, one of the passenger side windows fell in, so that had to be replaced, and the motor that ran it also got replaced. And now it's coming up into its 5th year, and it's still got a whole host of cockpit issues. So it all comes down to these very plasticky parts that BMW decided to use in their cars sometime in the early 2000s, sometime in 2001, 2002, 2003. I'm not sure when. And you can see you can see how cheap these things are, because as soon as you buy a BMW, these things start coming off. They start breaking. The finish starts scuffing very easily and scratching very easily, and it just gets to be quite an ugly affair. So you know, I really do hope that at some point BMW gets its act together again and starts making quality cars. I have nothing bad to say about their engines. Their engines are amazing. I've had nothing go wrong with the BMW engine or with the Mini engine. The handling is great, the brakes are great, but boy oh boy, you know, the cockpit is such an eyesore. It works so badly. It comes apart so easily. It would make the whole user experience so much worthwhile if they actually put some quality parts inside the cockpit, you know. So let me show you what I mean. As you can see, the rubber lining above the windshield is cracked severely, and it's only the rubber lining over here. This is fine, this is fine, and so are the other rubber linings, but this one. So here's a closer look. You can see those cracks running alongside the entire length of the lining. It gets really bad toward the center, right here. You see? The cracks over there. The rubber lining at the door sills is another issue. While it's not cracking, it's coming apart. So here, let me show you. You can see here, you can lift it right off. It doesn't stay in place, so I'm not sure how much longer it's going to stay there. See the door handles, the plastic texture on that is very poor, and so after regular use, you'll see that it peels right off and reveals the darker plastic underneath. I don't know what they did, but it's just cheap. There are two cup holders in the console, or not the console, the dashboard. That one still works. This one does not. It's got stuck, and I think it got replaced before as well because it got stuck. The cigarette lighter works, but it's so flimsy and cheap and plasticky that every time you use it, it fills the car with the smell of burning plastic. Because it's just literally, it's so cheap. Look how thin the plastic is, and it's just nasty. Every time it gets warmed up, it smells like burning plastic. So, not that I'd smoke, not that I use it, but you know, it's just another example of the poor build quality. It's like this is the rear console, and you can see this has already been replaced once because the plastic peeled off completely from it, or scuffed right off. It's the same deal as the door handles. You see, it scratches so easily, and it reveals that cheap texture underneath. And you know, think logically about this section over here. You're getting into the car. You know, you're bound to touch it with your shoes, or to run your shoes over this as you get into the car and as you get out of the car. You would think that the engineers of BMW would have said, hey, wait a minute, let's do the right thing here. People are going to be touching this with their shoes, they're going to be scuffing it. Let's put either some chrome or some hard plastic in there, or some metal, so that it won't look like this after just a year or two. But no, they went right ahead with the cheap plastic. The window shade on one of the rear windows is broken. It snapped right off one day, and we have to get it replaced. I think the looks of things, it simply got cooked by the sun, and the plastic broke. You would think they would use better plastic or maybe aluminum on something like this, where it's gonna get cooked by the sun because it's gonna be exposed to the sun all the time. But no, cheap plastic all the way. This is the ceiling light in the back here, but it's a good example of how cheap and plasticky the whole thing is. I mean, it's, look, and when you push it up, it creaks and squeaks, and you know, what is this all about? Would it be so hard to mount it with screws instead of mounting it with snap parts? And this is the front ceiling console. I don't know if you can see very well, but see, this is cracked right here, one of these ridges, and again, it's cheap plastic. Would it have hurt them immensely to maybe put a metal grill so this wouldn't happen and it wouldn't look so bad? The radio display is fading as well. This side works well, and as you get towards this side, from about here to here, it's fading. As you can see, that's supposed to say 028 and something else over here. I'm not sure what, but you can only really see the 28 very well. The 02 is very faded. The 0 here is also faded. Oh, this is supposed to be 10, as in the year. Yeah, and that's fading as well. When you turn on the radio,
which is my story as well. I used to
you can see
fairly smart, and I knew something about electronics, and then I made the mistake of getting behind a microphone.
This whole part is faded.
You do not learn anything when you are talking, and so here I am.
So after showing you all of these issues, build quality issues, I'd like to plead with BMW to please make better cars, because it's worth it. You know, when you buy a BMW, you don't buy it so you can throw it away. You don't buy it because it's a piece of junk. You buy it because it's a great car. It handles wonderfully, and you're supposed to feel great sitting in it and driving it. But when the cockpit is so cheap, it simply ruins the whole experience. So please, BMW, make better cars. Thanks for watching.